Hello and welcome to Top Tier Magic, your source for the top decks, the top players, and the top Magic strategies. Episode 6, Modern Delphia. Top Tier Magic is brought to you by PureMTGO.com and MTGOTraders.com. Check out my column on Fridays at these sites. In its beginning stages, Top Tier Magic is open to all reputable sites like these for hosting. Boy, what an amazing week in Magic. We have a lot of goodies to talk about this week, so let's get rolling. The first Modern Pro Tour happened over the weekend, and it was pretty surprising, the top 8. There was a lot of combo, and you see there's 4 blue-red combo decks, 2 Pyromancers and 2 Splinter Twins. There was also additions by Zoo, Infect, Affinity, and a 12-post deck. So we're going to start off the deck spotlight with Samuel Estradi's Splinter Twin, which won the whole event. Just like Splinter Twin in Standard, the deck uses the combo of Deceiver Exarch and Splinter Twin to create infinite damage on board. Now, being in Modern, you get a few more options. Pestermite and Kiki Jiki do the same things as Deceiver Exarch and Splinter Twin, so the deck just gets more robust in Modern. As you can see, it has 4 Preordains, 4 Ponders, and a Sleight of Hand. This deck is all about filtering, all about finding the cards it needs, and everything in the deck is either built to protect the combo, do the combo, or give you a little bit more time, like the Fire Spouts and Lightning Bolts in the main deck. The Pact of Negation is also there as a way to protect the combo as it's going off. If you're going to win this turn, you don't have to worry about paying 5 mana next turn. Our second deck spotlight is Counter Cat, brought to you by Channel Fireball's team, and piloted by Joshua Utter-Layton, known as Raptor, to the second place finish. So the deck takes the idea that you want to play an aggressive deck in a format that's unknown. At the same time, being Channel Fireball players, they wanted to play control cards as well. So that introduced Bant Charm. So this deck is a Zoo deck that also plays a tiny bit of control as well in the main board, with the ability to board in more control at the sideboard. As you can see, there's cards like Aven Mind Sensor, Flash Freeze, a lot of good ways to slow your opponent down while still beating their faces in with 3/3 cats. Green Sun Zenith does an amazing job in this deck, finding Dryad Arbor, Gaddock Teague, all the cards you want. Knight of the Reliquary was actually fetching up Arena in some decks, so that was really interesting. Green Sun Zenith finds you your cards that stop their combo, or just gets you beaters on board. This deck is very exciting. Now for the deck that caused the biggest stir in this top 8. If you were watching any of the coverage, people were talking about this deck, and there's a reason why. This deck can kill you on turn 2, on the play. So the idea is that it plays an Inkmoth Nexus turn 1, turn 2, activate it, swings, Blazing Shoal, removing a Progenitus or a Dragonstorm. You've just been dealt 10 to 11 poison counters. Now, the problem is that this deck doesn't have very much interaction in that scenario. Although you can get into grindy scenarios where you're just building up counterspells in your hand, deciding when you're going to go off. But the turn 2 wins are really annoying, and I think Wizards might want to get rid of this. Blazing Shoal is very ridiculous in certain situations. Now, the reason you're using Dragonstorms instead of extra copies of Progenitus is the fact that Dragonstorm can be picked up by Peer Through the Depths, which finds instants or sorceries. So they want to find, if they need to find a card to remove for the Blazing Shoal, they'll find a Dragonstorm on their Peer to the Depths. So this deck is something you need to watch out for until it gets banned. At least people expect it to be banned. Our community spotlight this week is none other than Yo MTG Taps. It's a podcast that comes out every week on Star City Games and MTG Cast. You can also find their website at iwantmymtg.com. So they're bringing you a general Magic podcast centered around Standard usually, and they also bring a lot of good interviews. So this is definitely a podcast I would recommend. So we had some more Innistrad spoilers over the weekend, and boy, wow, Garruk that transforms, and look at this, he's got a triggered ability. This is the first Planeswalker with ability that's not an activated ability. So let's go through this right here. His first ability deals 3 damage to target creature, removal in green. We'll see why later when he transforms. He becomes black, so this is a green-black card. On the front it's just green, obviously, but on the back it's green and black. As you see that little dot there, green and black, it determines the colors. So removal on the front, if you could remove him, and he doesn't die, he turns into the Veil Cursed. So that looks pretty interesting. Otherwise, you can just start spitting out 2/2 beasts. On the other side, he does a little bit of work here. 1/1 Death Touch wolves are pretty nice creatures to get in the way of everything. You can also start tutoring by sacrificing those wolves. And there's also this little death overrun. It's pretty interesting. I'm not sure if this guy will see play, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did see play. Here are a few more spoilers that piqued my interest. So unless you've been living under a magic rock and you're a magic player, you should know about Planeswalker points. So the idea is this is the new system replacing the DCI rating system. Planeswalker's points reward you for winning, but do not disreward you for losing. So there's no reason to drop from a tournament besides time on your part. The idea is that more players will be winning. If you keep on winning, you're going to do well. You're going to get multipliers and such, but you're not going to lose anything from losing. They want to encourage players to play an FNM. They want to encourage players to not drop immediately from Grand Prix and other things. So that this Planeswalker point system will be a way to get qualified for Pro Tours, and that's got the community in a bit of an uproar here. People are for it, people are against it. There's a lot of stuff on this. You need to check this out if you don't know about it. There's certainly not enough time here to cover it all. But the question here this week is, what do you think of Planeswalker points? Well, let's wrap this puppy up. As always, I'm looking forward to improve this show for you, the viewer, so feedback is needed. Hit that like or dislike button and ship me a comment. Make sure to catch my articles Fridays on Pure MTGO, and I will see you next week.